If you're an exporter, you deal with a lot of different clients, and sometimes you're not even sure who those clients are because, of course, companies own companies and they get owned by somebody else. And Jamie here is going to talk about the 50% rule, which you need to know. What is this 50% rule? Sounds pretty important.
It is extremely important. So OFAC, which is the Office of Foreign Assets Control, along with BIS, the Bureau of Industry and Security, because again, we love acronyms in our space, they have published the 50% rules. The BIS 50 or BIS 50 has actually been delayed for a year, which is great. Gives us a little bit more time to prepare. The OFAC 50 has been in place for several years, but the enforcement was not that strict, but the enforcement definitely is ratcheting up on the export side, just like it has been on the import side. So folks really need to be aware of what this is. And basically the 50% rule is just speaking to the fact that the government, through the SDN list or the restricted parties list in general, has published companies and countries you can't do business with. But what these rules are saying is it's not just the people you can't do business up at this higher level, but if they have 50% ownership in any other company, those companies are also restricted. So it just exponentially expands the individuals that you need to make sure that you're screening against and not doing business with.
That's really complicated. I mean, what do you suggest? How does somebody get their head around this?
The only way to do it is through technology, because the reality is you can't possibly. The federal government and their federal lists that they publish do not put all of these names and ownerships down. They just put the primary restricted individuals. So you need to do the research to figure out what all those other networks are, and that isn't information that's readily available. So you do need to use some sort of a third party. There are companies like Sayari and Altana and Caron that are different companies that do provide those mapping exercises that can really show you who that ownership is. So that way, when you're screening in these solutions, it allows you to see not only who's restricted, but their ownership and the restrictions that might be there.
It makes it much easier.
Much easier, because that way it's done systematically, because you just can't possibly do that research on your own. It's too much.
Now, is this something Vigilant helps folks set up these systems?
Absolutely. We can definitely support that activity of either providing the software. We do have relationships with these special mapping companies as well that we can sync into our software systems, and then also do the actual reviews and the adjudication of those reviews as well. And we do it along with many other service providers. There are other software solutions out there as well that can support this, but definitely if you have questions, you can definitely contact us and we can either assist you or point you in the right direction. You can reach us on our website at www.vigilantgts.com. Definitely willing to help. It is very timely. There are companies that are being caught unawares on this particular issue, and that relationship is extremely important to make sure you know all the ins and outs and you're following it specifically. Many years ago, did work with a company that did not do that level of screening, and what ended up happening is it wasn't until very late in the process. They've already built the huge project. It was an international project, built it, spent a ton of money, and then the relationship wasn't seen until the very end of the process. And so the entire project had to be killed at the very last minute, to the cost of tens of millions of dollars to that company and their customers. So making sure that you do this on the front end is critical.